Marriage, deceased wife's sister or brother's widow. The Marriage, Deceased Wife or Brother's Widow Act. Section 1, short title. This act may be cited as the Marriage, Deceased Wife's Sister or Brother's Widow Act. Section 2, interpretation. In this act, the word sister shall include a sister of the half-blood. That means they have the same mother but not the same father, or the same father but not the same mother. It includes that, in addition, of course, to the same mother and same father. Section 3, marriage with deceased mother's sister or brother's widow, not void or voidable as a civil contract. No marriage heretofore or hereafter contracted between a man and his deceased brother's sister or his deceased brother's wife within this island or without shall be deemed to have been or shall be void or voidable as a civil contract by reason only of such affinity. So what is this saying? By the way, remember, I'm not an attorney at law. I'm just reading this act as a citizen of Jamaica. But marriage between a man and his deceased brother's wife, or his deceased brother's sister. I guess the man and his brother's sister are not related by blood, so it's not seen as voidable. Anyway, we move to section 4. Section 4, no estate, etc. to be prejudicially affected. No right, title, estate, or interest, whether in possession or expectancy, and whether vested or contingent at the time of the coming into operation of this act, existing in, to, or in respect of any dignity, title, or honor, or property, and no act or thing lawfully done or omitted before the coming into operation of this act shall be prejudicially affected, nor shall any will be deemed to have been revoked by reason of any marriage herefore contracted as aforesaid being made valid by this act. Well, it's saying that this act does not affect any arrangement they made before. Alright. And no claim by the Crown for duties levitable or leviable on or which reference to death and before the coming into operation of this act due and payable, and no payment, communication, composition, discharge or settlement of account in respect of any duties leviable on or with relative to death before the coming into operation of this act duly made or given shall be prejudicially affected by anything herein contained. So no claims by the Crown, etc. to be prejudicially affected. Nothing in this act, that is section 2, not lawful to marry sister or divorced wife. Nothing, well, no, this was section 4, no claim by the Crown. So at page 2 now, still reading section 4, nothing in this act shall affect the devolution or distribution of the real or personal estate of any interstate, nor being a party to the marriage, who at the time of the coming into operation of this act shall be and shall until his death continue to be a lunatic, so found by inquiry. Let's read this again. Nothing in this act shall affect the divulsion or distribution of the personal or the real or personal estate of or any interstate not being a party to the marriage, who at the time of coming into operation of this act. So someone was supposed to inherit personal belongings or real estate. Nothing in this act shall affect the divulsion or distribution. That means whoever is to inherit those things. This act would not affect such an inheritance, nor being a party to the marriage, who at the time of coming into operation of this act shall be and shall until his death continue to be a lunatic, that means of unsound mind, if that person was found to be of unsound mind when, I guess, he wrote the will that his brother should inherit such property. That seems to be what this is saying. And shall until his death continue to be a lunatic, so found by inquiry. Alright? So even if he's of unsound mind, this act being in force would not affect the arrangements before. Anyway, we continue. Not section 5, not lawful to marry sister of divorced wife. It shall not be lawful for a man to marry the sister of his divorced wife, or of his wife by whom he has been divorced, or the wife of his divorced brother, or by whom she has been divorced during the lifetime of such wife or brother. Alright, let's see what this is saying. A man cannot marry his wife's sister after he divorces his wife to go and marry his wife's sister. He cannot do that unless his divorced wife dies. Okay, so you cannot divorce your wife and go and marry her sister. Alright. Or his wife with whom he has been divorced, by whom he has been divorced. Oh, that means whether he was the one who filed for divorce or his wife who filed for divorce. It's not permitted for him to marry his divorced wife's sister. He cannot go and marry his sister-in-law. Alright. Or the wife of his divorced brother by whom she has been divorced. So if your brother divorces, you cannot then go and marry that woman. It shall not be lawful for that to happen. Okay, so that is the marriage act as related to deceased wife's sister or brother's widow.